Greenville, South Carolina. It is day 2 of the greatest spectacle in sport fishing, the 52nd edition of the Super Bowl of bass fishing, the Academy Sports and Outdoors Bassmaster Classic presented by Hook. Are you ready? No. I said, are you ready? Let's get ready to work! Dante, who do we got first?
Well, what we're going to do is bring to the stage.
All right, man, so you're going to finish a little short for day 3. You had a little time to reflect. Looking back, is there anything you'd change or do differently?
No, not really. What I did, I fished from basically 0 to 20 feet. I was fishing a couple different patterns. I was trying to catch some of those heron fish early in the drains, and I was able to catch fish every morning. I caught fish every morning in practice. I caught fish both mornings of the tournament, but I never caught any of those big ones. I had one about 2 3/4 today. That's the biggest one I caught doing that. And then I had a couple different patterns. I was catching some staging fish outside of spawning pockets on some rocky points. That deal was a limit getter. I could catch probably 4, 5, 6 fish an hour, something like that doing that. But I was catching smaller ones up to about 2.5 pounds, pound and a half to 2.5 pounds, most of those fish. And then I was mixing in some dock fishing as well. And I thought that combination would be what it would take to win this tournament, being that it's March and we're about 2 weeks out from the spawn. I didn't think that this tournament would be 1 deep. I still don't think that this tournament's going to be 1 deep. So I think I was doing the right things. I just didn't, get onto the right patterns. I didn't quite get into the right areas maybe. I'm not sure, but a little frustrating to catch a bunch of fish and just not be able to put together at least a few decent ones each day.
All right, so huge bag on day 1. Yeah, day 2, a little smaller, but you're still right in the thick of it. Just kind of summarize those first 2 days for us.
Yeah, day 2 a lot smaller, but we're 2 days in. We got 1 day to go, 3 pounds back. I've got a bust tomorrow. I got a notch up tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. It could definitely happen. Do I think it's going to happen? I don't not think it's going to happen, but I also don't. I'm going to go bust. But, I'm going to go work as hard as I can, try to make the best decisions that I can. And that's all that I can do. Everything else is out of my hands. What everybody else catches is out of my hands. I can just try to do the best that I can do.
All right, so we just watched you do the math. You might be in the 24, 25 range. Just describe those emotions, man. Bassmaster Classic making the cut.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I mean, everybody wants to fish the Bassmaster Classic, but what you don't want to do, which I've done in the past, is fish for 2 days and then go work the expo on day number 3. So making it to Championship Sunday is a big deal, especially here on Lake Hartwell. The weights are so tight. I'm only like a few ounces away from the top 10 and, just a few pounds away from the win. So obviously to win it, I would have to catch a mega bag, but it could happen, and that's going to make things interesting tomorrow.
Yes, so, a lot of people have said day 1, day 2 has been different. What's your game plan going to day 3?
Well, so I really wanted the sun, and that, the sun came out late in the day today, and that's when I caught that big one, fishing around docks. So hopefully tomorrow we'll get some sun, but it looks like the forecast is going to be kind of similar to today. So I need to figure out what I need to do during the clouds to be productive. Then obviously once the sun comes out, I'm pretty sure I know how to catch them.
I think 19 years in the classics and 20-something years, 24 years of tournament fishing, experience pays off in ways that people don't understand. Today, with 20 minutes left to go, I only had 4, and I knew how important that 5th fish was going to be. And I think with my experience, you just know to stay calm. I trust myself. I trust my instincts. And I just randomly ran and seen a dock and said, that's the one. And the guy said, what? I said, that's the dock. I mean, I've never fished it before in my life, and I caught my 5th fish, which actually be a 2.5 pounder.
There you go. No other angler out here. Lots of good anglers, but nobody brings a larger roar from the crowd than you. So how does that? I mean, you got to be fishing for you guys out there.
Man, that's what keeps me going. Because I'm exhausted. Last night we didn't get back home to 8:30. We didn't eat dinner to 9 o'clock. I'm exhausted, but when I hear them crowd in the morning and screaming and the fans, it gets me through those tough times.
Very disappointed in my performance yesterday. I just never caught any big fish. Today I kind of did some of the same stuff. Went with my gut and made a little decision early to go to run it backwards, and paid off. They were biting early where I thought they'd be biting late. Just had a great day, and everything just came together. And the size was, I don't know if it's the wind or whatever, but there was a lot less bait today and more fish, and I think that helped out. Yesterday there was a ton more bait and a ton more fish, and it's a minefield whether it's going to be a 2-pounder or a 4-pounder.
So, you know, you're already in rare company, back-to-back wins, winning 2 classics. You can be all alone winning 3. So does that factor in your head at all tomorrow, or you just fishing?
No, I probably would have if I'd caught 18, 19 pounds the first day, but I'm coming from behind. I have a good history of coming back from behind. One of my first major events I ever won, I went from 6 pounds back, and everybody said, you ain't got a prayer, and I ended up winning by 7. So anything can happen. I'm just looking forward to getting back out there.
There you go. Now, we also were told today that other than bass fishing, you love carp fish.
I love carp fishing. It's one of my
Carp
favorite
tournament
things to do.
fishing.
Yes,
Tell us
one of my
about
favorite things to do. Carp fishing is just ponds we have down in North Carolina. They're set up kind of like a football field, got lights. You draw out your peg for your number where you want to be on the lake, and you just bomb rice and millet and all the kinds of packed bait and fish for 15 minutes, 30-minute pots, hourly. Just depends on where you're at. It's just a good time.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, man. Yeah. You know, third classic for you, right? And, you know, may not be the finish you wanted, but I think you and Gerald Swindle were bringing the biggest cheers from the crowd. So you have to feel good you got so many fans out there.
Yeah, you know, whenever you don't catch them, a lot of people come a long way to see you, and I think you got to do your due diligence and put them on a little show. You know, they don't want to come all this way, travel hundreds of miles, you know, to sit there and be bored at a weigh-in, and I love them, and just put on a show for them, have a good time, and it'll all be good.
How do you, you know, fishing your third class? Some guys fishing their 15th, 20th. How's it now compared to that first one, as far as emotions and you know, starting off?
Man, it's an awesome experience. I try not to glorify the classic, especially while I'm competing, because then it'll cause you to spin out, fish too fast and whatnot. But I always enjoy it right afterwards and let it all sink in. And man, the last classic's just like your first. It never gets old.
All right, so you made the third day of the classic. Can you kind of summarize the past 2 days for us?
Yeah, I've been real consistent. I weighed 16 something both days. I've got a good bonus, big largemouth each day, and just some cookie cutter largemouth, some 3s. I'm super confident. I looked at some big bags in practice, and it just hadn't happened yet. So man, I'm 2 or 3 bites away from sealing this deal. It's anybody's ball game in that top 10. I'm excited, ready to go.
So you've been consistent the last 2 days. Have you changed game plans at all? Will that change tomorrow?
No, it's just, you know, areas. I'm fishing just a couple different areas, and I think it's just a timing deal. You know, one day you might catch 16, and then boom, you might catch 22, or you might catch 8 or 9 pounds too. You know, I'm not afraid of either one. You know, I'm going to swing the way I got here and go out that way.
You know, you made the cut. Kind of summarize the last 2 days for us.
You know, summarize, here's the best way. I started weak yesterday, finished strong. Today I started strong and finished weak. So tomorrow, let's just finish strong all day. So that's the motto for tomorrow. You know, at the end of the day, we're going to go out there and have some fun. We made the championship round, Bassmasters Classic, get to fish on Sunday. Thousands of people watching. It's going to be awesome.
So, you know, some guys said they've changed from day to day. Some guys stayed the same. What are you looking at tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, I really hadn't even looked at the weather. You know, the clouds hurt the dock bite when I'm catching some of my fish off docks. So, but I caught a lot of fish off open water today, you know, schooling fish. So that may happen tomorrow a little bit more. So, you know, I'm just going to let the weather dictate. I'm going to try to put myself in a good area and see what happens.
It seems like regardless of results, you have a great time.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm having a great time. Thank you.
So just wrapped up my first Bassmaster Classic ever. You know, I got to fish 2 days, and it was just unbelievable. Be in this atmosphere with this group of hammers, and just for them to kind of take me under and be nice to me, you know, it means a lot for me. And because I look up to a lot of these guys too, so it was an awesome experience. The blast off was unbelievable. Weigh-ins spectacular. I mean, when you roll them curtains back, it's amazing. But you know, I definitely want to be back like next year as fast as I can. So that's going to be my whole goal from now on, is get back on the stage and see what happens.
So, you know, even if you don't make it to day 3 or you know, however the result is, what can you take away from it?
You know, I can take away the learning experience, of course. Just like any other, I've been to this lake a bunch, but still I learned a lot on this lake. You know, this time of year, it was completely different from when I was here last year. So you can always learn, and especially being around these guys, you learn a lot of stuff. So.
Man, made it to day 3, tied for first. Just kind of summarize the last 2 days.
So last 2 days have kind of been just, I mean, Classic Week in general is an absolute whirlwind. Between practice being like a week and a half ago, media day, there's Night of Champions, it's all a whirlwind. And then to look back on the tournament, you just make so many decisions, had a lot of stuff go wrong, had a lot of stuff go extremely right, and I've just got extremely fortunate over the past few days to put a couple of fish in the boat that are kind of those difference makers. You know, if you look through the standings, there's lots of 13, 14-pound bags. You mix in there 1 4-pounder, and you got 16 2 4-pounders, and you got 18. So that's kind of what we've done the last couple of days. We've ended up getting 2 of those big bites each and every day. So hopefully we get 2 or 3 more of those tomorrow. You know, we're just junk fishing. We're running around, doing what we can to generate those bigger bites.
So some guys have said, you know, day 1, day 2, they changed game plans. Heading into day 3,
right?
Is anything going to change for you?
You know, it just depends on what kind of condition we have tomorrow. I know the wind's supposed to blow, which is going to make me run a little bit of new water. You know, on these types of lakes, you have to fish the conditions, and tomorrow that's what I'm planning on doing. We're going to try to run a lot of the new water. We're going to try to run in the wind and the conditions. Whatever we have, I am going to make some adjustments as far as locations and stuff like that. For the most part, we're just going to stick with what got us here.
All right, man, you got 32.9. I mean, you probably safe, but you still probably feeling a little nervous.
No, not really feeling nervous. I'm definitely going to be fishing tomorrow, so that's a good thing. You know, there's going to be at least 5 guys I think going to be in front of me, but tomorrow it's going to be whoever catches the biggest bag is going to win this thing, probably.
Did you, I mean, you had 15 pounds, 16 pounds, stick to the same game plan both days?
No, completely different both days, and that's kind of the way you got to fish these places. You got to kind of roll with it. First day was a shallow, dirty water deal. Got down there and the water cleaned up like overnight. It was amazing how cleaned up it was. But I got lucky that I found some fish early in clear water. That kind of helped me settle down, and I really wasn't as worried about the water changing down there as much as it was.
So going into day 3, will you kind of make that judgment in the morning? Do you have something in your head now?
I'm going to start in the clear water again. Hopefully, just catch some 3-pounders. You know, that's what it's going to. It's going to take some 3s and a couple big ones. You know, and I think, you know, I'm looking, if I'm in 6, somebody in front of me is going to catch at least 17, 18 pounds. So I'm going to have around 20. So you know, I might take some chances, fish some docks, throw some bigger baits or something, just to see what happens.
All right, we just got done weighing in 12.3 on day 2 of the Classic here. I had 16.13 yesterday and could not back up those big largemouth bites today. You know, I just had all spotted bass today. Had to resort to pitching a little tube around just to get bites. I mean, I threw that swim bait and threw it, but it was cloudy and calm, not very conducive to swim bait fishing. So all those big ones I had in practice going, I mean, that just disappeared. On paper, the weather looked like it was going to be like a slugfest type tournament, and you know, things change, and definitely in a 3-day Classic, things change. So looking forward to picking up where I left off at the Elite Series. So we had a couple good finishes down there in Florida. Looking forward to getting out to Sandy Cooper and picking up where we left off.
Big bag today. Going to be fishing day 3. Just what are your thoughts summarizing the first 2 days and heading into the third?
You know, I caught them real good day 1. Day 2 stumbled a little bit, had 13 pounds of 10 ounces today, but it's going to keep me in the top 10. And that's the thing. That's all you can ask for, is being able to fish on Championship Sunday. Tomorrow, we're going to leave it all out there on the water. We're going to go for that big bag. It's Lake Hartwell. 20 pounds is out there. We weighed all spotted bass in today. Tomorrow, we're going all largemouth.
Sitting in second currently. I mean, that may change, but you're definitely going to be fishing day 3. So just kind of sum up your first 2 days for us.
You know, yesterday was really different for me. I caught them a lot different ways than I really thought I would. We got the sun. We just had too much wind for what I wanted to do. I did dump one about 5 yesterday, which I'm really hoping doesn't kill me in the long run, but I'm scared it's going to. But that's over with and done. I was kind of on the Scottsboro swim bait deal, and then when they just come out with a 3-inch, it really worked out. But I really want to go get one young dinger. I think if I have a shot to win this deal, that's what I'm going to have to do. Put that in my hand as much as I possibly can, just have confidence and just go. Because that's what turned out today. It's what I caught my big fish on. And filled out a limit and stuff. So I'm really leading with Scottsboro doing work in the morning, but I really want to go ahead and pick up that worm and go get after them.
So, you know, a lot of people said day 1 and 2, things changed for them. Going into day 3, do you have a plan in mind, or does that kind of happen on the fly?
I've got 3 spots I'm gonna hit in the morning, and I'm hoping I've got one spot that's got some 4-pounders on it. I mean, I caught a 4 the first day, and there was 4 more with her, and there's 6 there now because I pulled up there this morning and they just come up taking us what we needed. So I'm hoping with the sun is when they bite it. A lot of guys want some clouds and wind and stuff. They don't like that for me, so I'm just gonna hope and pray we'll get that sun. A little bit of wind in the morning's okay, but I need to slick off and hopefully I go do my thing.
You may fall a little short, probably going to fall short, but how do you kind of put it in the rear view and get ready for the next one?
Yeah, I mean, I fished out deep, targeted spotted bass mostly, and you know, when we got here a week ago, it was cold still, and the fishing was actually really pretty good. I thought I was gonna, you know, things were lining up to have a pretty good event. Wednesday, last day of practice, was a little tougher, and then obviously kind of grinder in the tournament. I caught a lot of fish. I mean, my thumbs all tore up, but just not the size that we needed to catch.
You know, you've had a few minutes to reflect. Anything you would have changed?
I mean, I put a few hours in each day largemouth fishing. It wasn't like I didn't do it or try to do it. Get better at casting. I rattled a lot of docks today. No, but it just, you know, it's easy to look back after, but probably should have, you know, covered a little bit more of the lake maybe than I did over the practice. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's the highlight of the year getting to do this, so it you know, never gets old, and now it's back to work to make sure we get back next year.
So, you know, every tournament I guess sets up differently for different anglers. You know, your strengths and weaknesses is there. You're your smallmouth guy. What's you're looking forward to this season?
Probably Lake Oahe in August. I've never been there, but that's you know, straight smallmouth fishing. Going to be able to get offshore, use the electronics. That's my, you know, what I really like to do. And you know, talking to some of the boys that went and pre-practice there last year, they said it was really fun. So I'm excited for that. St. Lawrence River is always a, you know, highlight of the summer too. But you know, our schedule is really good this year. We're going to a bunch of good places, so it's, you know, just we get to go to Santee next week, land of the Giants, and gonna have to catch some bigger fish.